You only get one shot at life, don't you? And there's no rehearsals, there's no auditions. But I think we all have to ask ourselves that question sometimes. If you had the chance to put into practice your dreams, to create your dream job, your dream career, would you risk everything to try and make that a reality? And that's basically what I'm trying to do here. And I'd love it if you could come along on that journey with me. This is Boyd's Carlton Classic. My name's Tom. For the past 6 years, I've run a clothing brand called Boyd's of Bedford, along with the help of my wife, my best friend Dan, and a few of my other friends who chipped in along the way too. The thing is, running a clothing brand is all-encompassing. We grew it to being an international business. We shipped stuff worldwide. We manufactured clothing. We created a following that was in the thousands, and we traded at some of the biggest shows in the UK, including the likes of the Bike Shed Show and Goodwood Revival. And ultimately, the brand reached a crossroads. With it being primarily me doing it myself, I was screen printing our product, I was picking, I was packing, I was running the website, I was doing the socials, I was doing the shows, and I reached a point when I could do no more. And the brand had hit a point where all the money it made would need to be reinvested to continue to create new products, to continue to grow, to continue to trade at these incredible shows that we were going to. And I felt that it either needed to be sold or it needed a huge investment to push it onto the next level, and probably not just be me by myself. Sadly, with the economy as it is at the moment, things are really, really hard, and I didn't have the money to put into the business, and I was scared that if I did, it wouldn't work. And an opportunity presented itself for me to pursue my real dream, and that's what I'm doing here. So Boyd's was built around my passion for cars and motorcycles, and that's why we traded at so many of those shows. And along the way, we met some incredible people. We got to experience some of the best custom cars and bikes in the country, and generally I was so inspired by all of those things. But with the amount of time I was putting into the brand, it left very little time for me to actually get to play with these things myself. I rarely rode my motorcycle, and I never got a chance to work on any cars. So a year ago, things were quite hard for us financially, and my wife and I took the difficult decision to sell our house and downsize to just release a bit of cash and to hopefully make our lives a little bit more secure. But it presented us with an opportunity to take a little bit of that cash and invest it in something else. And my wife showed a huge amount of faith in me to say, why not pursue your dream? So for as long as I can remember, I've had a passion for classic cars and bikes, and I've owned loads. Much like many car enthusiasts, I would take something, improve it a little bit, use it, and then after a while I'd see the next thing I wanted, so I would sell it on and get something else. And there was a bit of a pattern where often I would make a little bit of money on the side doing it and help to almost trade up into the vehicles that I had, and I've owned some incredible things along the way. So I had some experience in doing this, and we thought perhaps it's something that I could do a little bit more seriously. We needed an income, we needed to do something different to try and supplement what we were doing, and decided to give it a blast. So that's where Boyd's Carlton Classic came from. The idea of taking something that you love, perhaps improving it a little bit, and then passing it on to someone else so it can be their pride and joy. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do with this business. The premise has always been keep them running. I believe classic cars and motorcycles should be used. They shouldn't sit in the garage. They should be out on the road, being enjoyed, being shown, and really we want to make sure that that scene stays alive. So I started about a year ago by picking up a couple of vehicles, fixing them up a bit and selling them on. And I've had some successes where I've made a bit of money and able to buy something perhaps more expensive. And I've had some failures where I've lost money, or indeed something has just taken ages to sell, which isn't great for business. So here in November 2024, I stand here in the Boyd's Carlton Classic workshop here just outside Bedford. It's about 3,000 square foot, and it's the realisation of a lifelong dream to be able to put all my time into bringing these vehicles back to life and hopefully passing them on to someone else to love. It's a combination of little projects like just over here I have a taxi, a V8 taxi, which just needs a bit of work to get back on the road, and something more significant like this 1967 Falcon that I'm currently working on. Some of them will be quick flips, so fix, move on, and some of them will be more involved. And those more involved ones are really where the magic happens for me. I want to renovate, restore, refurbish, but also reimagine vehicles, to use some of the creativity that I had and loved expressing by having a clothing brand, and use those on vehicles as well. Spot the potential in something, make it into something different, and make it into someone's pride and joy. So how am I going to do this? I am a relatively amateur mechanic. I've been a keen driveway mechanic for most of my life. I've picked up a few skills along the way, and I've picked up a few tools along the way, but I also have picked up some great friends along the way as well, and certainly within the Boyd's network, I suppose through that I've met some really talented folks. So alongside me working on this stuff 9 to 5, I'll also have the support of my good friends. I've got Dan Slap, who's a really skilled photographer and also a fantastic fabricator who will be helping me. I have my good friend Mad Danny, who is a pinstriper extraordinaire, and I consider him the Obi-Wan. His mechanical knowledge is second to none, and again, when I get stuck, he will help me. We have Bill Brightman, my good friend, who is again a really passionate petrol head, great knowledge, an incredible work ethic, and always happy to help, which I'm so grateful for. We have my friend Signs by George Jacobs, who is an incredible sign writer, and again we have workshop Wednesdays every week, and she's always willing to muck in and working on cars as well. We have my friend Joe, who runs Fusion Auto Paints, again a very skilled painter, very skilled body worker, and his knowledge is invaluable. And we have Caramel Jordan, he's the muscles of the group, so if something needs a bit of brute force, then he's the man to go to. He is a man mountain. So with the help of my friends, with the knowledge that I gain on every single vehicle that we do, we hope to be able to churn out projects, to turn around vehicles that need a little bit of love and get them back on the road. So why YouTube, I guess? It's a strange thing to try and do. I am addicted to watching YouTube, the likes of Tasty Classics, Matt Armstrong, Chris Slicks, pretty much all the people that you watch yourself, and I love watching them. And we did actually have some interest of someone wanting to do a TV show about us, which never came to fruition, but I do feel like we've got a story to tell. I do feel like each vehicle we do has a story to tell, and I do feel that the fact that I'm trying to pursue this dream isn't something that is unique to me. I'm sure there's many thousands of people out there who would love to be doing what I'm doing, and genuinely, I don't know if it will work. I grew up watching the likes of Gas Monkey, and it's all very dramatic. If this doesn't sell, we're going to lose everything. You know, we need to get this finished by X time. And I was captivated by that. And I tell you, living it real life, it's not far from the truth. I have very little disposable income. I have a lot of vehicles, and I have time. And I wonder if, given the time that I have, putting my all into this, given my passion, given the people that I know and have met along the way, is it possible to turn your dream into a reality? So this is what this YouTube channel is going to be about. We're going to be showing you the projects we're working on, we're going to be showing you the shows that we're going to, and we're probably going to be introducing you to some of the other people who work in this incredible community along the way as well. So this is the first episode, and really it's just a transition from Boyd's of Bedford, the clothing brand, to Boyd's Current Classic, the custom shop, and to show you, I guess, some of the thought process around why I've made that decision. Following this, we have our last show that we're putting on as Boyd's of Bedford, which is the Winter Blast at Rushden Transport Museum, and that happens in just over a week. And in that time, I need to finish this 1967 Ford Falcon that's just behind me here. So we're going to take you along to the Winter Blast next week and show you what that's all about, and I guess introduce you to a little bit of the community that's behind the brand. And then what we're going to show you is the build of the Ford Falcon. I've started recording some of it as I've been going, and I'd like to just put that together and show you how we've transformed an unfinished, unloved project and we're going to put it back on the road and create something really, really cool with it. So we're going to share that with you as well. And then after that, I've got a load of projects lined up. I've got too many projects, and we're going to put each one of them on the road. One of the things I've learned is that if you take one project and see it through to its completion, that's the best way to work. I guess we demonstrated this recently when we built a Baja Beetle. We took a slightly unloved Baja, and in 3 weeks we transformed it into my vision for a replica of the Tamiya Monster Beetle. We put it back on the road, we took it to a show, the ROM Revival, and we then auctioned it off and gave 10% of the money we made from it to the ROM Revival Fund, which ended up being £500 to them to help them run their skate shop. And I think, again, that's an important part of this for us, is the community and the culture that surrounds motor culture, custom culture, art, etc., all those good things. But what I learned from that is take one project and see it through to its fruition. So we're going to get this Falcon done, we're going to get it sold, we're going to get this taxi back on the road as a little bit of a side quest, I suppose, and there'll be a few of those along the way, and we'll show you a little bit about what we've done with that. And then we've got a couple of really, really cool projects around here as well. Let me just show you. This is a preview of perhaps something that will be coming further down the line. So this is Boyd's Cohen Classic. We would love it if you could join us on this journey. As I say, I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if you guys are going to like this, but if you've ever dreamed of running your own custom shop, follow. Let's see if we can make it a reality. Thank you so much for your support. I'd love it if you would like and subscribe and share, and see where this journey takes us.